The Ethereum ETF is coming. I feel like this is going to shock the world. I want to show you some interesting things you might not have seen and the price prediction of just how far I think the Ethereum ETF can take the price. My name is Tyrell, and over the past 5 years I've been making money online, investing the profits, and we've had a pretty good track record so far. Hopefully we can continue it this call that might shock you for Ethereum. So let's start off with some news. Jim Kramer expects spot Ethereum ETF to bloom soon. Now, you probably heard about Jim Kramer. He's the guy that gives the terrible price predictions. He's on this finance TV show. He's an old guy. By now, I thought he would have known a thing or two. And he was the guy that was telling you that Bitcoin was going to zero, don't trust BTC. And all of a sudden, everybody else figured it out. And now he has finally started to turn the corner and go, hold on a second, this crypto stuff is actually real. It's going to stick around whether I like it or not. And he says, given the success of the Bitcoin ETF, it's pretty obvious that the Ethereum ETF will bloom soon. I know so many people right now that complain about gas fees. They look at the price of Ethereum and they think, oh, well, there can't be that much gains to be there. But you have to think, right? Bitcoin itself has done, what, a 4x since the lows? You don't think that Ethereum should be doing a 4x, at least from the lows, especially once the ETF comes, right? These are the things that you have to think about. Now, one of the things that I posted in my Telegram community was this. If you haven't seen this by now, it's just a simple explanation of how money usually flows when Bitcoin starts moving. Every single market cycle has been like this. If you're somebody which is your first cycle, this is how it works. First, you have Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the first mover. Everybody talks about it. They want to see that thing surpasses all-time high. Then, once Bitcoin goes into price discovery, people look for other coins where they can take on more risk, and usually that's the next in line, which is Ethereum. Once Ethereum starts moving, that brings all the low caps with it, and the L1s, the L2s, the DeFi protocols, these other things which most people don't even know about. And finally, you have the altcoin season. Now, the altcoin season is crazy. It's very speculative. You start seeing coins moving 2x in a day, 3x in a day, and that is actually when you should start to become alarmed, because that's actually towards the end of the cycle. Now, what most people are doing is most people have all of their money in altcoins. They have no large market caps in their portfolio. They hold no Bitcoin and ETH. So the only time they're going to make money is towards the end. And when they make those pumps, finally, it's too late and they lose all the money. Right? I've been in this position before. I know so many other people have been in this position before. And the reason why a lot of people get wealthy when they stick around is because they accumulate Ethereum. They accumulate a lot of large caps. Early in the cycle, their large caps pump. The Ethereum obviously pumps and their Bitcoin pumps. They make a lot of money and then they reinvest the profits into altcoin season and make money. Okay, so for you personally, if you're somebody that's looking at this, what do you think is interesting? I would say that number one, there's a Bitcoin ETF already approved. Number two, there's an Ethereum ETF scheduled to be approved. So for me personally, it looks like it's the ETF which are going to be the catalyst. In fact, people are even talking about an XRP ETF and these types of things. So this ETF narrative seems to be the thing which is catapulting the market right now and which is bringing a lot of volume. So for me personally, I want to be ahead. And the way I'm going to be ahead is I'm already in Ethereum before the ETF. That's the way I'm thinking about it, okay? And other people agree with this. In fact, if you look at Mike Novogratz, for example, this is a great video. You can check it out on Bloomberg, but I'll just play the intro for you now quickly.
About what you're seeing under the surface. I think a lot of people are watching Bitcoin go absolutely parabolic and wonder what is exactly driving the flow, who's driving it.
Well, listen, this is probably the first time in the history of Bitcoin that we have true price discovery. And what I mean by that is this is the first time that anyone who wants to buy it has easy access to buy it. And so, right, baby boomers have $85 trillion of wealth. Their wealth is, for the most part, managed through registered investment advisors who now, at least half of them or some portion of them can just buy the ETF. And so you're seeing a step function in new owners of Bitcoin, which is driving, I would say, a frenzy in the whole crypto ecosystem.
So wait till the frenzy comes to Ethereum. Well, that's the way I look at it. If you think of it like this, BlackRock leveraged the Ethereum futures ETF to get their Bitcoin spot ETF approved. So logically, the next thing for BlackRock is for them to say, okay, we've basically accumulated all the Bitcoin now. We're going to get that. They're buying 10 times more than is produced every single day. So wait till this thing gets halved. It's going to get crazy, okay? The frenzy for Bitcoin is already programmed. The next stage of this program is going to be the Ethereum ETF. What most people don't realize is Ethereum is deflationary, right? It's already deflationary. So what happens when BlackRock starts buying more Ethereum, they can be in supply, right? Again, supply, demand. Right now, guys, the demand is way higher than supply. We are only just getting started. And again, Mike Novogratz agrees with this, right? He also agrees with this. Now, in terms of the ETH ETF, I'm not the only one that feels like this. In fact, there is also a mystery whale who accumulated $411 million worth of ETH in February alone amid of the ETH ETF. Guys, follow the money. Where attention goes, energy flows, and so does money. And right now, the attention is on ETFs, right? And everybody knows ETH ETF is next. Right now, I'm only trading my Ethereum for things which, I know are going to perform fairly well, right? Things like launchpad projects, for example. I can take an ETH, 2 ETH, put it in some launchpad projects. They do 10x, that makes me 20 ETH. I ship my 20 ETH back into my wallet, it stays there, right? That's the way I'm working with these types of things. Because by the end of the day, when the Ethereum spot ETF is approved, it's going to be insane. And my price predictions are as followed, right? If you look at the last cycle, right, amidst the 2018 top all the way to this 2020 bottom, that was obviously the vid situation. We've seen that as soon as Ethereum recovered that key level, we've seen a 1,400% return, right, over the next year. And this thing here, there wasn't many dips. I know a lot of people talk about waiting for the dip, buy the dip. Like people were like, I'm waiting. Guys, I know so many people, right, that were waiting for, 50% dips, right, or 20% dips, for example. And you see a few of them in a cycle, right? If I just run through these, you see a few, right? That's a 30%. This one here probably another 30, right? These ones start to get big, right? These ones start to get like 50, okay? But if you look at them, there's not many over the cycle. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 tops, right? Tops. So it makes sense, instead of trying to catch the bottoms of these things, to accumulate them on the way up. Because whether you bought really high up over here, doesn't matter. If I just remove some of these here, whether you bought any of these along the way, a few weeks later, you're in profit. You could have bought the top here, we come down 10%, 2 weeks later, you're in profit. It's just patience on this journey, okay? And right now, I feel like that's looking fairly the same, right? If we measure it, this would bring Ethereum up to $23,000. Now, do I think that Ethereum is going to get to $23,000? Stay tuned to the end of this video. No, I'm joking. I don't think it's going to go to $23,000. But I personally think my personal target for ETH is going to be about $12,000. And I'll leave it here. Okay, I think my target for ETH is going to be $12,000. And the reason for that is simple. The last high was only $4,000. Compared to every single other run, that's tiny. In fact, from the last high of ETH, up to here, that was only a 2x return from the previous high. That's pathetic. Pathetic for a large market cap coin. Any other large market cap coin, including Bitcoin right now, is going to be doing multiples on its previous high. In fact, last cycle, Bitcoin went from what, $20,000 or so to $69,000, right? Ethereum on the other hand didn't. So I personally think that we see a $12,000 ETH and the ETF to absolutely rip it. But if you look at the momentum here, it wouldn't even surprise me if we went up to $23,000, guys, okay? So in terms of my portfolio right now, ETH right now is an amazing buy for that stable money, that money in your portfolio where you're like, okay, I don't want this to fluctuate too much. I'm working actively, I want to keep this capital. ETH right now is where it is at. And if you can buy it every single week or every single month and consistently dollar cost average, it's an absolute no-brainer. Even at this price, to me personally, ETH is a steal. So guys, let me know if you do feel like we can reach this $23,000 mark, this $24,000 mark, or if you think that my 12K price prediction is too much. Thank you very much, guys. Check out the next video for a free 5-hour tutorial, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.